Since the beginning of humanity, there have been people that didn't mind taking advantage of others. But now that we have cell phones, internet, social media, there are even easier ways to take advantage of people. Some scams are fairly easy to see through, while others are much more elaborate. Many of them are incredibly skilled at what they do and have resources at their disposal to scam even more realistic. Either way, scammers have one goal: to take your hard-earned money. So let's find ways to protect yourself against these scams. Common sense is your greatest defense. Unfortunately, I'm more of a book smarts person than a street smarts person, and that's probably why I did fall for a scam. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Try to imagine having an in-person conversation with the person that's scamming you. I mean, I know you don't know it's a scam at the time, but imagine a person walking up to you on the street offering you hundreds of dollars if you give them a gift card. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Or a 21-year-old model reaching out to you to have a relationship with her if you're a middle-aged man. Again, doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, these may be on the little bit of extreme side, but these are exactly the tactics they use to scam you in these days and age. It does seem a lot more plausible when you're on the other side of the internet, but it is not. Use extreme caution when communicating with people you don't personally know. For many of you, that would be me. You don't know me, you haven't met me, you've only seen me through videos on YouTube, maybe looked up some of my listings online, but I am licensed. You can find me on the licensing board, you can find reviews about me, and you get to watch my videos to learn about me some more. Many enjoy making friends online, but it's in your best interest to be very cautious about who you're friending and the information that you give them. Scammers prey on loneliness, vulnerability, emotions, and the anonymity of the internet to get away with it. If you want to meet new people, there's tons of places here in Cherokee Village. You can go bowling, there's clubs like the Gem Club, the Ham Radio Club, the Arts Club. You can play Dart League at the Copper Feather or the Elks. There's tons of ways to meet new friends in person. Don't open emails unless you're certain you know and trust the sender. This is almost impossible for me because I'm constantly getting emails from new clients and customers. So don't be offended if I send you an email back if you attach me a PDF of houses that you want to see. Just put it in the email or tell me some MLS numbers or give me a call and I can look them up for you. I won't open a PDF attachment from somebody that I don't know. I just won't do it. It's too much of a risk. Emails can contain viruses, malware, trojans, and other programs that allow scammers to steal your information. It can be from your computer or your phone because phones are basically computers now. If the sender is someone you don't recognize, or if anything looks suspicious, like the email's not quite right, you cannot open the email or, like I said, open any attachments. Email scammers can change the address slightly to look like it's from someone you can trust. So instead of att.com, they put another T in there, another A. Just make it slightly different so it goes to someone else. Don't fall for scare tactics. As mentioned before, scammers prey on loneliness, vulnerability, and emotions. Many try to scare you into doing what they want by threatening to have you arrested for a crime you have no knowledge of, lawsuits for things they accuse you of, or sending you personal information they claim to have and to all of your contacts that they also claim to have, but they don't. Do not encourage people on the other end, whether it comes in email, text, message, or phone, unless you really know what you're doing and you're really just trying to mess with them. Honestly, this is how I got scammed. In July of 2021, I was supposed to serve on jury duty. However, I saw that it was canceled. I saw it on Facebook, so I figured there was a chance that I missed it and misunderstood. Well, I was out showing property in Horseshoe Bend, and I got a call from a police officer, and they said that there was a warrant out for my arrest because I didn't show up for jury duty. Well, there was a couple of red flags. First of all, call me Laura Sackett Clute. My legal name is Laura Clute, and I use Laura Sackett Clute for business purposes because my dad I took over the business for him, which is Richard Sackett. The second red flag is that they were calling from Independence County. But I don't live in Independence County. I own a property there under Laura Sackett Clute. But I live in Sharp County, and that's where I was supposed to serve jury duty. Well, to make a long story short, I ended up on the phone with them for about 4 hours, and yes, I did give them money. So I felt really stupid about that and really gullible, but if I hadn't supposed to have been to jury duty that month, that year, that day, then I wouldn't have fell for it. And that's exactly what they prey on. Those people that aren't familiar with legal situations, I know now that if I did have a warrant out for my arrest on jury duty, more than likely they wouldn't have came after me. They might have pulled me over for a bad taillight and then I would have got arrested. But even if it really was, which I wasn't having a warrant out for my arrest, but I did still give them money, and thankfully Walmart didn't give me a gift card to do it a second time when they told me that the first one didn't go through. I even left my keys in my car during the whole process. My phone battery almost died. I should have let it die, but it didn't. Anyway, I hope that you can learn from this and not be taken advantage that the police department won't call you because you didn't show up for jury duty. I can assure you. Don't give out personal or financial information on the phone, the internet, or even through the mail unless you're absolutely certain why you're doing it and what they need it for. A legitimate company will understand the need to protect your personal information. A scammer will do everything to pry it out of you. I try very hard not to give out my date of birth, for example. Sometimes I'll change some numbers, include my husband's or my daughter's, so they don't actually have my date of birth, but more than likely they're going to use it for marketing purposes or just make sure that I'm old enough to use whatever service they are offering me. There are very few people that need your social security number. It should only be for like employment purposes or getting a mortgage loan. Then they're going to actually need to be able to check your credit and things like that. And this also applies when getting wiring instructions from a closing company when you're purchasing a home or a property. Make sure you verify with the source who you are sending it to and that you have the correct contact information and the correct wiring instructions. Unfortunately, it's happened too many times that funds have been wired to the wrong place and people have not been able to buy a home because they were scammed. Use a different password for your email than your other accounts. If a hacker gets his hand on your Facebook password and that is used to access by your email, then they have the password to your email so they can get into your email, change your Facebook password, change your email password, and possibly access many of your other accounts since they're in your email. So it is important to be very careful about that. Ideally, you should have a different password for every single account you have. I use a system called Password Keeper, so I only have to remember one password. I also use an email that I don't use personally or for work just for accessing that Password Keeper so that it's even less likely that someone would access it. There are also different methods for creating unique passwords, like you can have a base password and add before and after for a specific account like AT&T, and then that base password and then the year they set up the account. So you can remember different accounts without having that password keeper, but it's still unique. The worst thing you can do is have your computer memorize your passwords. All you have to do is go to that website and you're automatically logged in. And on top of that, not having a password on your computer. Then all they have to have is access to your computer. They can get into your computer and all your accounts. This is often how scammers start working on buyers and sellers. Either they get access to their computer or their email. They're either hacked by their email or possibly their agent's email or the title company email. So again, it's very important that you contact the wiring company, the title company, directly before you wire your funds. Scams with real estate involved are all too often seen. Other than wire fraud, there are also scams with rental properties. Both homeowners and renters can be scammed by someone appearing to rent out the home. As a renter, they could take your deposit, their first month's rent, and never even give you access. As a landlord, your rent proceeds could be used for repairs not on your property or fictitious repairs by a property manager to pocket it themselves instead. It is important to visit a property in person or get a virtual viewing of the property as a renter. As a landlord, make sure you're using a company you trust or real estate agents who report to the Real Estate Commission, so at least they have someone watching over them to ensure your property is taken care of. This is also why it's often recommended that you don't rent out properties that are too far from you to watch over. If you have a friend or a relative that's tech savvy, you can always ask them for help. Personally, I have my 20-year-old son who I can call on for technical difficulties, and he's the one that edits my videos. If you think something is a scam, it probably is, but it doesn't hurt to ask someone else just to make sure, someone that you know and trust, and they may even be able to help you avoid future incidents by asking them. I am often called upon by people in my office or my dad for clarification as well, and generally I err on the side of caution because I don't want to put them at risk or my business at risk or my clients or customers. If you are the friend or relative who has that less tech-savvy friend, please help them out, even if it seems silly to you. Thank you, Lucas, for answering all my questions. You might help them avoid a negative outcome by simply pointing out something that they didn't know might be a problem. You have more experience in this technology age and have more active brain cells than people in my generation and older. And trust me, someday you will be where I am now and be asking your kids for help. Make sure your children understand what a scam is and how to avoid them. Even if they are the tech-savvy ones, there may be other scams that they may fall for, like giving out personal information or sharing too many details to people they don't know. There are plenty of people they may consider elders and feel like they have to respectfully do what they ask them to do, but they may not have their best interests in mind. Know what your kids are doing on the internet on their phones. There are apps out there that you can download to monitor them without invading their privacy. Elderly adults are also easy to take advantage of, and there are plenty of scams with people pretending to be children or grandchildren that immediately need money to bail them out or lock up their computers and we'll pay us and we'll fix it for you, and just to get more money out of somebody that doesn't have it. So make your loved ones aware of these potential evils. We love our clients and we want you to be safe. Check out links in the description below for more information about how to stay safe, and make sure to take precautions to protect yourself from scams. Since many scams also include selling foreclosed properties, check out this video, How to Buy a Foreclosure. See you again soon and have a blessed day.